3 cars pulled up outside our house. By years of training told me danger was close. I rushed my family into the basement I'd prepared long ago. The armed intruders crept cautiously toward the front door. A single gunshot shattered the lock. They breached the entrance and began clearing the rooms, completely unaware they had chosen the wrong victim. Using my knowledge of the house, I quickly eliminated the first 2 attackers. Slipping through the shadows, I silently dispatched a 3rd man and wiped my blade clean. They were equipped with advanced tactical gear, but I never needed fancy equipment. In my hands, any ordinary object becomes a lethal tool. I pressed the offensive and caught the remaining intruders completely by surprise. However, a brief lapse in focus allowed someone to strike me hard from behind. Regaining consciousness inside a moving trunk, I listened to 3 distinct voices chatting in the cabin. I popped my thumb out of its socket to escape the handcuffs, grabbed a fire extinguisher, kicked down the back seat, and blasted them with foam. Blinded and choking, the driver lost control as the vehicle violently crashed off the road. I forced my way out of the wrecked trunk. After returning home and changing my clothes, I finally unlocked the basement. My wife and son stood there paralyzed with fear. The house was littered with corpses and the floors were slick with blood. My boy stared at me in absolute shock. He had never suspected his mild-mannered father was capable of such violence. I knew this attack was just the start of a larger war. I immediately sent my family away to hide at my in-laws' house. Next, I phoned my father at his nursing home to warn him about the incoming threat. Instead of panicking, the old man simply smiled to himself. Moments later, a pair of assassins arrived at his facility. He waited patiently in his bed, feigning sleep. One of the hitmen stepped forward and raised a weapon to finish him. Meanwhile, I drained my savings to purchase an abandoned manufacturing plant. Relying on my old expertise, I rigged the scrap metal into a labyrinth of lethal traps. With my defenses prepared, I raided Yuran's secure vault, eliminated his guards, and burned his massive cash stockpile to ashes. I then strolled right into the enemy headquarters, took a seat at their dining table, and calmly began cutting a steak. Yuran's henchmen flooded the room with their weapons aimed right at me. I simply lifted the tablecloth to reveal a hidden explosive, its detonator wired directly to my hand. Realizing he was trapped, Yuran ordered his men to stand down and forced a nervous smile. I tossed a stack of his half-burnt money onto the table. I delivered a final warning to leave my family alone. Promising I would always be nearby, I kept my grip on the trigger, walked past his armed guards, and drove away.